know how important it is for children to grow up, feel loved. I'm so happy that you guys are here for our premiere of the Mom Podcast. This is just a highlight of moms who do ... Hi everybody. Hi. Welcome. My name is Shalanda Sims. I'm so happy that you guys are here for our the premiere of the Mom Podcast. Thank you. So, and grandmoms, yes, who were moms, who are still moms, right? Yeah. So, I wanted to say that in 2013, I wrote a play called Full-Time Woman, Honey. And it was, exploring all different types of themes. And then we just left it there in 2020. After all of the racial unrest, I put out this post on Facebook and just wanted to get some moms involved. And then I left it because I got such a huge response. Almost 100 moms were like, yes, let's do something. And I was like, okay, what do we do though? So, and then I got sick, so there was really nothing that I could do. And so fast forward, I've been kind of working on this, been doing some mock interviews. So thank you everybody who's, been a part of that. And kind of seeing what it is that we want to explore. But one thing that I knew for sure is that motherhood is like my jam, right? It's like I do a lot of things, but motherhood is like I know that I'm good at it. Mm-hmm. I think I'm good at it anyway. Yeah. Ask my kids, they might say something different. But. You look good at it. And so for the last couple of years, everything in my life has kind of shifted and focused on motherhood. Like the work that I do has shifted, and the plays that I'm directing, they all have to do with motherhood, or, if I'm asked to speak, it's about motherhood. And so I think that it was just aligning for me, kind of like pushing me to say, yeah, go ahead and do that. And I really want to be, this year I said, my personal theme is just being intentional about my relationships. And so one thing I wanted to do was just build relationships with other mothers, because it doesn't matter what color we are, what religion we are, we have motherhood in common. We might mother a little different. And then if you see these books, there is this author that I ran across, and she was talking about motherhood as social justice, and how when we're mothering, we're raising the next generation, and what does that look like, and how motherhood or being a mom is the most essential job in the world, yet we don't get paid for it. So I wanted to talk to other moms just about themes about raising kids, about health, about grandkids, about I'm raising, or I am mothering adult children. So that's a lot different than, having teens and toddlers. So we're all at different levels of our mothering, but there are elders here who could say, baby, you gonna be all right. Or maybe not. Here's what I did. So one of the persons who I interviewed for the mock interview is Miss Timisha Wilson, and she was so gracious. We had a good time. We laughed a lot, but we're gonna do it again because this is the premiere. So I'm going to ask her some different questions just to catch her off guard a little. and look at her face. She's like, okay. And then I'll ask her some of the same questions I asked her before. So, Timisha, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I love her.
Love you too.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a mom, sister, auntie. I am born and almost practically raised in Portland. I have attended Benson High School, University of Oregon, Portland State. I'm a licensed clinical social worker here in the state of Oregon and a mental health therapist in our community, and working primarily, on our past traumas, helping people heal, recover from those. And I am so blessed to be in this role. And my journey, that got me here, it was also a blessing. And in the course of that, met you at church and got to see you flourish. So I'm, again, very appreciative of the opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you. So how many children do you have?
I have one.
One. And
one and done.
When she said one and done, somebody else out there is like, yes, one. Yes, no more, just one. How many have one? Oh, quite a few. Mm-hmm. A few. All right. Okay. Good to know.
I admire those who have more than one.
Who have more, like me.
You, my sister, for sure.
You have two? Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your child. Are they?
She's a 20-year-old college student, and a new thing recently, moved home to, reset and take a break, which I highly encourage, and I'm glad that she did that. But she's like kind of been my, little broke best friend, ride or die. Yep. Like that's been my boo. I've dragged her along to everything that I've done, and she's got to witness me, be involved in a lot of things, and got to participate, as at her level. And I think it really allowed her to flourish, and I got to see that when she became an adult and when she moved off to college. But there's, want to live your life, and
broke best friend.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I have one of those.
That was like a little struggle, but it wasn't anything that I could not handle, because I only have one and didn't get to witness, close in close proximity, like how to move through those phases. So I am learning as I go and talking to my parents and my siblings a lot, and leaning on a village to support, have really good friends too. So it's been amazing as an experience. So
that's important. Because I think about when you say a village, like having older siblings or cousins or whatever to kind of look and see how they did a thing, see what works. Right. Shout out my cousin Lisa. Yeah. So, just kind of seeing what works and what doesn't, and then that's always nice. That's always nice. So you said you have one child, college age. Tell us a little bit about how you were mothered, and if it had, anything to do with how you mother.
Of course. I feel like what I witnessed my mom go through, there were definitely things that I wanted to do differently, but at the same time, like raising a child, like being in it, I found myself sounding like her, maybe having like certain same opinions or beliefs that she had, and that were valuable, that I may not have realized were valuable back then because I was young. But yeah, she's a great grandma, and so I've got to see that transition as well. She was a good mom. I felt supported based on how much she could, given circumstances. There were times like we didn't get to be with her 100%, and that was hard. But what she, got it together is, again, the best grandma for her grandchildren, which is really all I could ask for. And I think about her, and, I cherish her as a mom, and I'm proud of her. So I want to be, as involved as she is with family as well. She set a good precedent for that. And just being around is, the main thing right now.
Yeah. I feel like that's the most important thing, being present. Like, it's not so much about the money or gifts or, but it's really just being present, being in your life and kids' life. So yes, good. That's good. What do you do to unwind?
A whole lot of things. I know y'all see me out in the community. I like to go to events and support the arts and different, what community partners are doing and supporting their efforts. Self-care, I'm really big on. So I love to be out in nature, but I also love to be in my bed. And so, just to be real honest, after a hard day, my bed is very comfortable, intentionally. And I was just mentioning, I take hot baths at least once a week, and I set the tone, and I'll have my little snacks and music or video that I want to, spend that time focused on that. Go to a bathhouse, and not a naked one, but one that is private, individual, and I love to just be around water. So I know that brings me comfort, and then the food.
Are you a foodie?
I should have mentioned that first, but I'm gonna save that one for last, because food is definitely my love language.
Food cart. So are you the person who goes to try all the new restaurants when they open our food carts?
I would say that. I definitely go off of recommendations, and
Okay.
I'm a big review reader. So I decipher through all of what's said and decide if I want to try. But we have a lot of good food here, and so it's not hard to find just your favorites. And because I don't like to be disappointed, I go with what I know for the most part. But yeah, I like to try some new things every once in a while.
Yeah. Speaking of food, Deuce's catering catered
Oh my
tonight.
gosh. Okay.
And
That made me happy.
the food was really delicious.
Yes.
I was back there going, trying to get it all in, before we got up here. So I'm going to have me some more a little later.
Me
Yeah.
too. I'm
You
thinking about
shaking your head,
that
yeah.
scampi right now.
Right. So, okay. I have to put my glasses on so I can see. Now, it's on topic. I saw you in Vegas
Yeah, you did.
because you were at the Beyonce concert.
I was.
And we didn't know at the time, but when we got on the plane to fly back home, I was like, what are you doing here? And she said she went to the Beyonce concert. We went to the Beyonce concert as well. So there was this whole thing. Did you enjoy the Beyonce concert?
I did. I didn't go for the Beyonce concert.
Oh.
I know. I went for Bruno Mars, and Beyonce was the same weekend. My friend really wanted to go, and that was the way that
Okay.
she got me to go.
Okay,
so
got you.
I'm not a beehive. I'm not,
Don't ask
she's,
me.
She's awesome, but
Yes.
okay. So
okay.
so
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
So I went because my daughter really wanted to go.
Okay.
My broke
Gotcha.
best friend.
Right.
And we had a good time, but there was some drama that happened afterwards, I don't. So you probably don't know, since you're not a real big Beyonce fan.
I feel like we might have went to different nights though. Okay.
No, I'm talking about just afterwards.
Oh, go ahead.
With
maybe I'm not aware.
So we're talking about motherhood, and we're talking about
Blue. Okay.
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 Right? So the internet has no chill, and sometimes people can just be mean. So first, it was what stood out to me when I was at the concert was Beyonce's pride when Blue Ivy took the stage, and they were almost towards the end of the tour. I think by the time it got to Vegas, there wasn't that many more shows left. LA was the last one, I believe. But it was the pride that she took in her when the crowd just went crazy when she got on stage. And I know before then people were saying, oh, she can't dance, and she needs some more training, or whatever. And so as a mother, right?
And then the negative side.
That was just the negative.
There was the positive, that people do know some things about how to handle children the right way.
Right.
Like, go ahead.
Right. But then on the flip side of that, people were coming for Beyonce. I don't know. Does anybody follow Miss Tina Knowles? Nope. Beyonce's mom. Nope. So I find it fascinating. I like to follow the mothers of stars, famous people. Just I'm fascinated with it. Like, how do you raise someone like that when your child is gifted, or do you Joe Jackson them, or or what? So anyway, I followed her, and there was just, again, the internet and people saying how Beyonce was trying to be white, and why is she wearing her hair, this color? Did she bleach her skin? And it was the first time that And I wanted to talk about that, like how we as parents, when it comes to our children, are we protective? Do we, because usually she doesn't say anything, probably because Beyonce doesn't want her to. And likewise, Beyonce for Blue, right? But have you ever had a situation like that?
Where I've had to act protectively of my child? Of course, yes. And
anyone that you want to share?
Experience?
Yes.
I think I had to do most of my advocating for her at school, and then there was sometimes just any time that there was an issue, I would have to address it. But mostly at school, where she was being misunderstood in high school. And when I say that, she's very tall. She is, I don't even know how to describe it, but she's a very beautiful girl. Intimidating just when you look at her, because she's so beautiful. And being that tall, she was same height as a lot of staff at her high school. And it was a private school, predominantly white, students, staff. She had to navigate that demographic, which she's done all her life intentionally. But when it became more about her coming into her identity and feeling all her hormones and feelings and being impacted by those, it was, having to talk with her and teach her, but also let the school know you're not gonna vilify my child. You are going to work with her in the way that she deserves, like you would any other student. I'm not accepting that. And I'm not the one to to try to go against in this situation. Like, I know I'm right. And that's when I get really adamant, is when I know I'm right, because I just have a passion for how kids are treated and how they're raised. I know sometimes I have conflicts with my family about it, but I have to stay strong because I know how important it is for children to grow up feeling loved, just being able to have enough like willpower and motivation to like push through all of the mess that they might have to experience. And I don't think that having conflict, discord at home should be necessary for my home. And so I do my best to just educate her, and then if I need to have her back. Now that she's older, it's a little different, but when she was younger, I definitely like stepped in and also told her what she could do, like things that she could say, how she could respond, how she needed to respond in order to be heard and listened to, but also like keep that strength, keep that personality, that will. She's, very intelligent, and I didn't want to stifle her. I also, realize there's limits in how much you can force on your children. They really can be independent if they wanted to be, and if they had that desire enough, like it would cause problems between y'all. And so I didn't want that. I did my best to keep her trusting me, her willing to come to me and share things. I didn't want there to be any secrets, and I didn't have any with her, as hard as that was, like to show her all of me and explain like why, and have her accept that. That was very powerful. I think that helped our relationship now that she's an adult. So I'm just trying to keep that going. But yeah, I'm still protective of her. That's why I told her to come home. And she did.
Right. And I think, is there ever a time that we are not protective? I'm asking our elders. Are you still protective of your adult children?
I don't think I would be a great grandmother if I wasn't.
Yeah, so I don't think that ever goes away.
Right. I asked my dad, and he says it doesn't. So.
It doesn't go away. Yeah. Last question as we close. Give us some motherly wisdom you would like to offer. Something you wish someone would have told you.
It is okay to have fun with your kids. Like, that should be the number one goal. And that should be a cycle, like continue to enjoy each other. So, being involved in each other's, what each other's interested in, just like any relationship. But that's what I would say.
That's your advice. All right. Thank you, Timisha, so much.